Today I want us to talk about what the Chinese are doing in Nigeria and some other African countries. And we need to also ask ourselves some questions. And our leaders also need to respond to some of our questions. The video you see on my screen has been trending. It's a video of a Chinese recording policemen while they were giving them money. And when he was done, he gave, I don't know if it's his daughter or his wife, to do the same thing. What I know about videos like this is that they sell it back home in China. You know, China is designed in such a way that the people are close-minded. They hardly know what goes on in other parts of the country beyond what they are told in their media. And their media go to countries like Africa, taking pictures, recording videos of, sometimes they tell kids to say the things they want them to say from their mouth, things that shouldn't be said to anybody, denigrating them, insulting their sensibilities. And they say them while they record them to depict Africans in such a manner, and they give them peanuts, send these videos back in their country, and they sell it while people subscribe to watch and laugh at us. They show how primitive we are, even though we have gone past that stage of development way centuries ago. What is the Chinese doing with us, and how is the Chinese filling the gaps Nigeria wants them to fill? The Chinese in Nigeria have disrespected us for too long. As if that is not enough, it is our policemen that they are embarrassing now. And only God knows what they are going to be saying in their own web about the Nigerian police. These videos were recorded for commercial purposes, and they're going to make a ton of money selling this video on their channel. If you go to China, they would begin to ask you very funny questions because of the way this set of people have depicted a lot of Africans on their space. And nothing is going to happen because our leaders don't care. We don't have leaders that bother about the things these guys do to us. Our leaders are only interested in how their relationship with China benefits them at the expense of our people. Can anybody go to China and treat the Chinese police the way the Chinese are treating our police here? The Nigerian police also needs to see this as a reflection of who they are, because this is what the Chinese will go out and describe them as, that you buy the Nigerian police with money. And we open our doors to corruption from China, a floodgate, and anything passes. And that's one of the reasons why the Chinese continue to import all kinds of things, even what we don't need, into our country, because they know with small money they can buy off anyone. And it is a big embarrassment that the Chinese guys are depicting Nigeria in this manner. They have exposed the rubbish we call our police today, all thanks to the fact that our policemen are quick to receive anything, even with their uniform on, without respect to the uniforms they wear and carry out their duties. As we speak to you, Nigerians have lost 1.3 trillion naira, all in the Ponzi scheme that was introduced by China. It's called CBES, and nothing is also going to happen. And that is one of the reasons why they say greed is not a way of life for any sensible human being. We have this kind of money in Nigeria. We're crying about poverty and hardship. How can we tell ourselves that Nigerians had 1.3 trillion naira to invest in the China Ponzi scheme in Nigeria? So people came in all the way from Canada, United Kingdom, and America to invest in that Ponzi scheme. Some people who risked their lives from Libya invested all their life savings. You can read a comment of the woman who complained about spending $1,000 of her wedding fees in the same Ponzi scheme. If I was her fiance, I would just end that marriage, because such a person has the capacity to throw that husband under the bus. And look at the boy who also spent his school fees on Ponzi scheme, and we want to now blame the government. We haven't learned from the many Ponzi schemes that continue to scam us as a people. From the days of wonder banks to this day, Nigerians have continuously remained gullible. We want quick money, and we can't invest in the kind of investments that would make us sweat. We want our money to work for us while we sleep. I didn't even know one Ponzi scheme such as CBES exists, and I'm sure a lot of us also didn't know until it collapsed. We must learn from one too many. There's no quick way of making money. And Nigeria needs to begin to see the kind of arrangements and investments we go into with the Chinese. I continue to say it. The Chinese are no friend of anybody. These people have a population of over 1 billion, and they are looking for how to depopulate their country and enrich their economy. So they will embrace any scheme that every Chinese wants to embrace to scam anybody. I don't know how we're going to retrieve a 1.3 trillion naira from these guys, and we don't even know who they are. But as I speak, there are so many Chinese people who are investing in Ponzi scheme in Nigeria. And a lot of them are on the queue to get to Nigeria because they know one thing: Nigerians are gullible. Nigerians are waiting online to get their monies into this Ponzi scheme. It's a way of life for us because a lot of us have money in our pockets. Our crime, we don't have money. We're only looking for the easy way out to put that money in. There's no free money anywhere. 1.3 trillion naira left our economy into the Chinese economy. And we think the Chinese are our friends. The Chinese are no friends of anybody. We must begin to look inwards and find our solutions. I don't feel pity for anybody. A lot of people are crying and almost losing lives because they feel they have lost their life savings and investments. If it is not greed again, even Dangote will not put all his life savings in one investment. How do you wake up believing that you want to be a billionaire and you want to quit working the next day because they're promising you some sort of ROI that are unrealistic and untrue? Nigerians, we need to wise up. We continue to lose money to scammers. Now, of all people, it's the Chinese that are now scamming us. Is that how gullible we have become? We know the economy is not so good. And we're also not bracing up to be smart upstairs. How do we explain to the rest of the world that Nigerians have been scammed of 1.3 trillion naira by the Chinese in the name of some sort of investments? We need to brace up. And I believe that the Security and Exchange Commission and other agencies of government needs to investigate this and as much as possible apprehend everyone who is responsible for this scam. And we need to end this culture of get rich quick. We need to also stop licensing most of the Chinese investments coming into Nigeria without clear mandate and clear directions as to how their investments would impact on Nigerians. And we need to watch how investments and funds are repatriated from Nigeria. This should call for concern and this should even call for questioning. The ease at which they do businesses and get money out of Nigeria is one we need to also investigate so we don't wake up one day and realize that everything we own as a nation has been carted away by somebody else. I'd love to read your comment on this issue and I'll see you in the next video.